Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a camera comparison between the Vivo V9 and the Vivo V7. By the way, this video is being recorded on the Vivo V9 itself using its front-facing camera. So check out the audio cancellation, noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone. Now with that said, let's check out the specs. On the rear, Vivo V9 sports a dual camera setup with a 16 megapixel primary camera with f2.0 aperture and a 5 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture. On the front, it has a 24 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. On the rear, Vivo V7 sports a single 16 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture, and on the front, it has a 24 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture and a dedicated soft flash. Now these are some sample pictures taken in daylight and well-lit conditions. Both phones have auto HDR for the rear cameras, so all these pictures were taken in the auto HDR mode. While taking HDR images, capturing speeds are slow on both phones, but comparatively, it was slightly faster on the V9, probably because of the better processor. Now coming to the HDR images themselves, images look better on V9. On V7, images are a bit overexposed, colors are to the warmer side and look faded. Sharpness is good on both phones, but you need very stable hands while taking HDR images. Even the dynamic range is slightly better on the V9. These are some macro shots and I didn't have any issues with focusing on both phones. You get good bokeh effect in both phones, but due to the difference in dynamic range, images from V9 look better. So on the whole, rear cameras are definitely better on the Vivo V9. Now coming to portrait mode, both phones offer this feature. V9 uses a dual camera setup and V7 uses some software processing. Edge detection isn't perfect on both phones, but it's much better on the V9. On V9, we have the option to change the amount of background blur effect we want before taking the picture and after taking the picture. Even after taking a picture, we can change the focus point. Now all this is not present on the Vivo V7. So on the whole, portrait shots are definitely better on the V9. Now coming to low light performance, here are the sample shots. Once again, V7 overexposes the image a bit more and colors are to the warmer side. Images are soft on both phones, but comparatively, images are slightly sharper on V9. Now coming to selfies, here are the sample shots. Both phones support auto HDR, so all these pictures were taken in the auto HDR mode. Selfies on V9 are wider, that's an advantage, but HDR mode isn't working properly. Most of the selfies look very bright, faded and overexposed, while V7 is doing a better job with exposure control, with good color reproduction and good skin tones. Now coming to portrait selfies, once again both phones support this feature. Edge detection and background blur effect is not perfect, but pretty good on both phones. Now just like with the regular selfies, even the portrait selfies look better on the V7. These are some selfies taken in low light indoor conditions. Selfies are soft on both phones, but comparatively, selfies from V7 look better in terms of color reproduction. Now these are some selfies taken in very low light outdoor conditions. Once again, all these selfies were taken in auto HDR mode, and clearly Vivo V9 did a bad job here. It is better to disable auto HDR mode in low lighting conditions. In case if you didn't, you will get better results on the Vivo V7. Almost all the selfies are overexposed on the V9, while V7 did a pretty good job with exposure control and color reproduction. Now coming to video recording, here's the sample footage. So guys, this is the footage from Vivo V9 and the Vivo V7 using the rear cameras. On the left side I have the Vivo V9 and on the right side I have the Vivo V7, and I'm currently recording this video at 1080p resolution, and that's the maximum resolution supported by V7. On V9 we can also record video in 4K resolution, and both phones lack stabilization, which is a pretty sad thing. Now audio is also from both phones itself, so check out the noise cancellation offered by both phones and the stabilization as well. On V9 we can record video at a maximum of 4K resolution, while on V7 we can only record at a maximum of 1080p. Both phones lack stabilization, so the footage is shaky on both phones. Both phones have good exposure control and exposure shift. Once again, footage from V7 looks a bit overexposed and colors are to the warmer side. Comparatively, footage from V9 looks better and has better dynamic range. Now this is the sample footage from the front cameras of both phones. So guys, this is the footage recorded using the Vivo V9 and the Vivo V7. On the left side I have the V9 and on the right side I have the V7, and I'm currently recording this video at 1080p resolution. That's the maximum resolution supported by the V7. On V9 we can also record video in 4K resolution using the front facing camera. So that's pretty impressive. And as you can see, there's no stabilization offered by both phones, and audio is also from the phone itself, so you can check out the noise cancellation offered by both phones and the stabilization as well. Once again, V9 can record video at a maximum of 4K resolution using the front facing camera, and V7 can record video only at 1080p. I don't know why, but the colors on V7 look super saturated and colors on V9 look a bit dull. There's no stabilization on both phones, so the footage is very shaky. Out of the two clips, I like the footage from the Vivo V9. So guys, to conclude, rear cameras are definitely better on the Vivo V9. As of now, front cameras are better on the Vivo V7. If Vivo can fix the exposure issue on the V9, it might be able to perform better. So guys, looking at the sample pictures and the sample footage, what's your take on the cameras on these phones? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more cool videos on tech. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.